Now, if we understand what is CTG and why CTG is important, this is required to avoid fetal deaths due to birth asphyxia or babies born in poor condition that could lead to neurological complications such as cerebral palsy. As a PG, I'll give you this very important clinical point. As a postgraduate, when you're working in labor room, so many as a PG, when you're doing post graduation, you're very enthusiastic in your labor rooms and you want कि आपके जो भी laboring patients है, they should deliver normally. So the success rate of a post PG who's working in a labor room is directly proportional to the number of normal vaginal deliveries that the PG conducts rather than the number of cesarean sections. So after that, जो भी monthly आपका cesarean audits I think happen in all of the medical colleges. So you always have this thing कि किसके month में कितना cesarean section percentage rate गया and everything. So trust me, this is the enthusiasm of a PG level. Once you mature, once you start seeing complications, fetal complications, neonatal complications, once you start seeing high risk obstetrics and get more experience into labor and labor room, you always believe in one thing. This is a dictum of life which I'm telling you right now, because I remember as a PG I used to be that enthusiastic कि सबको टोलक देना है, judging the criteria, so trial of labor करना ही after CS. Gradually, once you start seeing complications, you understand giving a good maternal and perinatal outcome is more important than giving a normal vaginal delivery to a patient. Meaning कि दोनों जच्चा बच्चा safe देना जरूरी है. Like the fetus outcome should be good, the neonatal should turn out to be good. उसको you cannot deliver a hypoxic baby or a cerebral palsy baby on the gist of doing a normal vaginal delivery alone. So remember this always, and that is why CTG and fetal heart rate monitorings are important. So inability to interpret the CTG trace may result in delay in taking appropriate action and poor outcome for the baby, which you do not want, and hence we are here to discuss CTG in so much detail with you all. So now, what are the methods of doing an intrapartum monitoring or fetal heart rate monitoring? So let us understand there are always two kinds of pregnancy. One is a low risk pregnancy and one is a high risk pregnancy. So high risk pregnancy, it is always recommended that we do a continuous CTG monitoring. Clear? If it is a high risk pregnancy, that is where continuous CTG monitoring is advised. And low risk pregnancies, you can either opt between intermittent fetal heart auscultation. What do you define? How do you understand? What do you understand by an intermittent fetal heart rate monitoring? Can anybody tell me? Intermittent auscultation, IA को define कैसे करते हैं? So low risk pregnancy, you can go for intermittent FHR auscultation. Anybody in the chat box? How is the fetal heart rate auscultated? With what frequency? 15 minutes with handheld Doppler. Can you use stethoscope or is it an handheld Doppler? Every 20 minutes for monitored with Doppler. 15 minutes hai, 20 minutes hai, what? IA, intermittent auscultation, is 15 minutes for 1 minute. That is immediately after one contraction. First stage 15, absolutely correct. For 3 successive contractions nahi hai, Ankita. So 15 minutes for 1 minute after one contraction in first stage of labor. First 1 minute, one contraction, first stage. ठीक है, उसमें समझ आ गया 15 number. 15, 1, 1, 1, 1. Easy to remember. Now coming to second stage of labor. Second stage obviously ज़्यादा monitoring चाहिए. So every 5 minutes. It's called as adequate or appropriate intermittent auscultation of fetal heart. अब वो auscultation वाली slide पे I made a stethoscope, so handheld Doppler use कर सकते हैं, but ideally everywhere books auscultation is auscultation, right? It is with stethoscope only. So remember these few basic points which we thought was important and I wanted to cover this. Now what are the indications for CTG monitoring? There could be indications. किस patient में CTG monitoring is important? It is either a maternal indication mostly, or there could be fetal risk factors, right? Now, first we are talking about maternal risk factors where you need continuous fetal heart monitoring. Maternal risk factors. Number one is any hypertensive disorder needing medication, hypertension on treatment. Second is prolonged ruptured membrane. Any vaginal blood loss which is not show vaginal bleeding, not show. Fourth is suspected. This is spontaneous monitoring, right? No, it is indications of CTG monitoring in any condition. It is not for continuous CTG monitoring, it is CTG monitoring in general. What are the indications? Other places you can do intermittent auscultations. These are the guidelines, these are the indications which are recommended by the NICE guidelines. Where you are suspecting chorioamnionitis or maternal sepsis. Ideally, वैसे देखा जाए, these are all high-risk pregnancies, so continuous CTG monitoring becomes indicated automatically, but the NICE says only indications for CTG here. Fifth could be pre-existing diabetes, which could be either type 1, type 2 diabetes or GDM on treatment. Okay. Sixth indication is previous CS, where you are giving a TOLAC or other any kind of a full thickness uterine surgery, which could be myomectomy, which is a through and through myomectomy. Clear to all of you? Now, if we see fetal indications, fetal risk factors, where you have fetal risk factors and you know you have to monitor this with CTG, these could be number one, non-cephalic presentation. Now you will say कि non-cephalic को तो हम trial of labor देते ही नहीं हैं, but these are indications of CTG monitoring. This is the first indication is non-cephalic presentation. Second is an FGR. Third could be SGA with other risk factors, including abnormal Doppler, reduced Leica or reduced growth velocity, GV. GV is growth velocity. जैसे वो interquartile range जो वो increase होना चाहिए वो adequately increase नहीं हो रहा, and there is a stagnation of growth velocity there. Post-term pregnancies, post-term fetus is again a risk factor and requires CTG monitoring, and hydramnios or polyhydramnios, and hydramnios or polyhydramnios. Clear to all of you? Any doubt till now? Any confusion? Now there is a question. Suppose you opted कि ये तो बिल्कुल low risk pregnancy है. I want to do an intermittent auscultation for this pregnancy. When will you decide that you have to switch from intermittent auscultation and move on to continuous CTG during labor? So whenever there is a development of a new intrapartum risk factor develops, whenever I will write new intrapartum risk factor develops, you have to switch from intermittent auscultation to continuous CTG monitoring during labor. And what are the new risk factors that possibly could develop, and you have to make this decision of shifting? Number one is contractions that last longer than 2 minutes or more than equal to 5 contractions. What is this condition called? Anybody? Chocolate question. It's an easy question, but it's a chocolate question still because I wanted you all to respond and keep awake. More than equal to 5 contractions in 10 minutes or contractions that are lasting for more than 2 minutes. Hyperstimulation. Absolutely correct. Second is onset of MSL, meconium stain Leica, if you identify. Third is a new onset of maternal pyrexia. Now, how do you define pyrexia intrapartum or during labor? How will you define this? So, maternal pyrexia, does anybody know the definition? During labor, more than 38 degrees Celsius single reading, 38.6. So, it is more than 37.5 degrees Celsius or above on 2 consecutive occasions, 1 hour apart. Please note this down. I know many people have confusion about these maternal pyrexia during labor, and ये actually कहीं दिया नहीं है बहुत clearly. I had to make efforts to find this out. So please note this down and you will not have confusions later on. Next is a suspected chorioamnionitis or sepsis. Fifth is if there is any kind of a pain which is not associated with contractions के बिना भी अगर patient को persistent pain हो रहा है, you will think of either an abruption or choreo or any kind of a hyperstimulation, and it is a warning sign. Pain without contraction is a very, very ominous sign. Don't take it lightly. Fresh vaginal bleeding that develops in labor. So these are few of the warning signs, and any kind of a new sign where you should make a switch to continuous CTG monitoring. I need to write few more points actually. I am just a minute. I'll write here only. Other than that, you have a blood-stained liquor. That is, there is a revealed abruption or suspected antepartum hemorrhage. Blood-stained liquor is there. Next, you have maternal pulse rate over 120 beats per minute on 2 occasions, that is 30 minutes apart. ये इसमें ना CTG में आपको यही सब याद रखना है. How many times, how many minutes apart, ये सब it is confusing, but I am giving you everything in one place. Take the notes seriously and go back and revise, and you will master this. Pre-eclampsia plus or minus severe features. There is prolonged first stage prolonged labor, either first stage or second stage labor is prolonged. You are using either regional anesthesia, for example, epidural analgesia is being used. Use of oxytocin for augmentation, you have to switch to CTG monitoring. Other high-risk antenatal comorbidities that are already existing in the woman, which we have already discussed before. So you can switch from intermittent auscultation to CTG monitoring. What are the prerequisites for CTG? Anybody, could you tell me what are the prerequisites? सबसे पहले CTG, remember this, it is medico-legally very, very important. Once you're doing CTG for a patient, ensure that you're entering the name, time, date is correct for that patient. Because what saves you in the court of law, OBS is like every minute to minute का game, and even it saves you in front of your consultants जब वो audit लेके बैठ के बजाना चाहते हैं ना कि ये वाले PG ने अच्छे से monitoring नहीं किया, इसकी वजह से baby hypoxic निकला, इसकी वजह से CS late हुआ, whatever. So the correct timing on the CTG and your correct informing. So if you notice a deceleration or a pathological CTG you have diagnosed at suppose 7 p.m. स्विच ओवर टाइम में आपका 7 o'clock का हैंड ओवर टाइम चल रहा है, 7 o'clock डिसलरेशन आया, बट वन पर्सन वाज स्टैंडिंग देयर एंड मॉनिटरिंग एंड यू इन्फॉर्म द कंसल्टेंट एट 7:05. यू कॉल योर कंसल्टेंट इमीडिएटली कि मैम सो एंड सो हैपेंड. डॉक्यूमेंट 7:05 कंसल्टेंट इन्फॉर्म्ड. मतलब sometimes you forget to mention, you forget to call, and you forget to document. You can show your call logs on your phone. मेरे साथ हुआ है, that is why I know. One day one of my consultants, son की consultant, she sat down with my phone. I showed her CTG, NST 8:35. She had poor variability. 9:30 तक we monitored 1 hour, 60 minutes. It was defined as a pathological NST. I called my first on-call consultant at 9:35. I informed you at 10:05. Cesarean was still delayed for another 2 hours because of so and so whatever reasons. Then I handed over the patient to the labor room team at 10:30 a.m. Decision for cesarean was delayed and so 12:30 cesarean हुआ, poor outcome निकला because they wanted to burst that thing on me and I pushed it on to another team, whoever was there in the labor room, because everything was documented starting from the correct time. Sometimes if you're not seeing your calibrations of the machines now आगे पीछे का time दिखा रहा होता है and then things become really difficult to prove. CTG is very, very sensitive document. Keep small things in mind. So here patient identity should be marked. Second is prior auscultation. Before placing the transducer on the abdomen, ऐसे randomly उससे मत ढूंढो कि किधर है fetal heart. Auscultate, then place. Define the scale of CTG paper clearly. Use a charged machine. Correct placement of transducer and tocoprobe. Tocoprobe के ऊपर कभी jelly लगाना नहीं है और उसको paste मत करना है abdomen. मतलब just keep it gently with a gentle tape over there and use belt for your transducer. So machine, then probes have to be correctly placed. CTG paper ensure उल्टा नहीं लगा है, upside down नहीं है. It is in the correct paper is placed nicely. You have a belt, you have a probe jelly, everything is in situ. So ensure these things clearly when before you're going ahead with CTG. Now, what is the scale for CTG, or what is called? There are two scales. One is a horizontal scale, which you can see 1 minute जो दिखा रहा है. So the intervals between the vertical red lines represents 1 minute. So fetal heart rate tracing is displayed in the upper plane, and नीचे वाला जो होता है uterine activity is displayed in the lower plane. Now, what is the scale for CTG? So there are two scales. Number one is a horizontal scale, which is called as paper speed. Now ACOG बोलता है, ACOG के mostly guidelines और interpretations come with a 3 centimeter per minute के speed के हिसाब से, which is ACOG 2017, and NICE 2017 वाला usually they have all interpretations as 1 centimeter per minute. It depends on how, whatever you are comfortable with. Most medical colleges have 1 centimeter per minute, and even AIMS PJ both we used 1 centimeter per minute. Sometimes 3 centimeter na interpretation becomes very difficult. Second is your vertical scale. So scale and speed set करना, machine को लेके ना बैठ जाओ like an engineer. You should know how to make changes, how to enter names. Paper stuck हो जाए तो उसको कैसे open करके, मतलब being a medico, you should be half engineer for all your machines, be it laparoscopy machines, histromat खराब हो गया, you should know how to do it. Laprocator अटक गया केस के बीच में, you should know. You should not depend on other people कि ये ठीक करके दो ऐसा whatever. So vertical scale. Like when I was admitted myself in AIMS for like my antenatal monitoring, my NST used to be done like twice daily because of the super high risk pregnancy that I've already described to all of you. So my husband is a cardiologist. He said कि मैं ECG पढ़ना भूल गया, now I know how to interpret NSTs. So we used to do short-term variability, STV and LTVs were being interpreted for my NST. And he knew everything about the machine, how to set the speed of the paper, name enter करना है, time enter किया है, this and that, and then he would only send the photo off to all my consultants कि this is today's NST and final interpretation is this. So it's important to understand the technicalities sometimes. So 20 to 30 beats per minute per centimeter, that is जो vertical scale होता है. Intervals जो होता है उसमें intervals are of 10 beats per minute. Fetal heart rate FHR range अपना जाता है 30 से लेके 240. If you can see the markings here, यहाँ पे 30 से 240 के बीच की marking होती है. Now and uterine activity की marking होती है 0 से लेके 100 mmHg. Uterine activity is 0 to 100 mmHg is the activity of the vertical scales. Clear for all of you? Anybody has any doubts? Want to ask anything? Now CTG for monitoring during labor. When reviewing a CTG trace, assess and document for these few things. हमें documentation में क्या क्या चाहिए? अब NST आप लोग देखोगे ना labor room में अपना documentation ना ऐसे करो. There is a mnemonic which many countries follow, which is called as Dr. C. Bravado. Now, what does this stand for? D. Determine risk, whether the patient is in low risk or high risk. Second is C. DR is DR, determine risk. C stands for contraction. Document contractions. Then comes BR, like baseline rate. What is the fetal heart rate का baseline क्या है? Then is V. V stands for variability. D stands for decelerations. O, final O stands for overall impression. The moment you start answering your NST CTG interpretations being asked on your table vivas and OSCE exams, इस तरह से आपने interpretation बताना शुरू किया, I'm sure you're going to score well and you will have a good impression in front of your examiner. So this is the overall impression of your CTG monitoring in labor. So now when you are reviewing CTG traces, evaluate the changes on traces over time to ascertain कि क्या baby की condition चल रही है. Document अगर previous पहले उसका सबसे पहले उसका baseline को document कर दो according to Dr. C. Bravado के accordingly document the first admission CTG. Then again document any kind of evolving changes that are happening during the progress of labor. Previous वाले से review करके new onset acceleration, new onset deceleration present, new onset decrease in fetal heart rate variability observed. Document that as and when it is observed. Review the changes alongside an existing and new intrapartum risk factor. कुछ नया intrapartum risk factor तो नहीं हुआ, leak होके, suppose it is a non-cephalic presentation, suddenly leaking हुआ and there is a hand prolapse or a cord prolapse and you suddenly see there is a steep down, fetal heart rate has gone down. So assess what are the new risk factors that have developed which has resulted in this new onset changes. Think about the possible reason कि ये change क्यों आया and take the whole clinical picture into account when planning and ongoing care. Don't just see the paper and plan for cesarean. Tell your consultant को photo मत भेजो CTG का, tell about the entire clinical picture. So it is called as assess entire clinical scenario before taking any kind of an action. So CTG अकेले पे कभी भी कुछ भी action नहीं लेना होता है. Should always assess कि actual clinical scenario क्या है. So NICE 2022 guidelines is the gold standard where we follow everything. So 4 features of cardiotocographic जो बोलते हैं कि 4 features को अपने को देखना है CTG के ऊपर, which is contractions, basal heart rate, variability, deceleration. These are the things which they say we are observing these 4 और उसको further अपने को categories में divide करना है. There are 3 categories to it: white, amber or red. So red is where it is a increasing category of concern. Amber and white is white. So use alongside considerations of the presence of accelerations to classify कि overall CTG trace कैसा दिख रहा है. So now if we come to this uterine contractions, how do you define uterine contractions? So this is the duration. This is the entire duration of the contraction. This is an increment. ये acceleration phase आया. Acme. Acme is the peak. Peak is called as acme. This is decrement. This is a relaxation phase which is present. Contraction, relaxation. Is it visible? Contraction, relaxation. And then you finally see what is the frequency of contractions that are coming. This is a beginning of contraction and this is a beginning of another contraction जो यहाँ पे आना चालू हो गया. So that will give you the frequency of contraction. Now how do you define uterine contractions first? Now these are myometrial forces which is greatest and longest at the fundus. Myometrial force कहाँ से अपने ostia से current generate होता है. They are called as the pacemakers for onset of uterine contractions. Myometrial forces कहाँ होगा? Maximum will be at the fundus. Lower limit of contraction to cause cervical dilatation. Anybody? What is the lower limit of uterine contraction to cause cervical dilatation? कितना होता है? Answer, chocolate question, absolute chocolate question. When do you say कि labor onset हुआ है? What is the Montevideo units to when you say कि 3 contractions of 40 millimeter mercury every 10 minutes is when onset of labor has happened, right? That is what you say. So what is the clinical activity of myometrial contraction in MVUs? That is, it is 80 to 120 Montevideo units. That is how you define the onset of labor has happened. And what is the lower limit of contraction to cause cervical dilatation? Answer to this is 15 millimeter mercury. This is the lowest most limit to cause cervical dilatation. Now what are Montevideo units? क्या होते हैं exactly? Let us understand MVU. I told you this is a little detailed lecture. So Montevideo units are calculated. So if you can see, so you add all of these. So they are calculated by subtracting जो baseline uterine pressure from each peak uterine pressure of each contraction in a 10-minute window of time and then taking the sum of these pressures. So let me tell you how do you calculate. Baseline pressure, as you can see here, is 20 millimeter mercury. ठीक है, 25 था यहाँ पे, 100 minus 25 was 75 for this. Can you appreciate 100 minus 25, 75. इसके लिए कितना था? This was 75 minus 25 is almost, it's 85. It's not 75. 85 minus 25, 60. This is 75 minus 25, 50. And this is again, I think, slightly more than 50. 50 minus 25 was 45. It is 55, I think. This is 60, sorry. 60 minus 25 is 45. So you subtract the maximum from the baseline को each उसके ऊपर एक एक mention कर दो and then add all of them 75 plus in a 10-minute window period 10 minutes की contraction में which is 75 60 50 45 230 Montevideo units. Adequate contraction is 10 minutes में more than 200 MVUs is considered as a adequate uterine contraction. Clear to all of you? कुछ confusion तो नहीं है? Anybody has any doubts? It's a lot of mathematical class today. So how do you monitor contractions? You can see this CTG probe here. How do you monitor contractions? There is an external monitoring which is called as a TOCO probe. जो ये नीचे डायग्राम में दिख रहा है जो अपने NST मशीन पे होता है which is called has a transducer button और plunger होता है इसके ऊपर. You can see this button here. Can you all appreciate वो that is how it differentiates from the normal NST probe. So movement of plunger converted according to the contractions into electric signal. वो जो उसका movements होते हैं उसको vibrations मिलते हैं उसको electric signals में convert होता है and that is how you calculate the intensity of the contraction. It is not very sensitive in calculating the duration of each contraction. Intensity ठीक ठाक बताता है. Belt कितना tight है उस पे भी हाँ so belt नहीं लगाना है CTG probe के ऊपर. You should have fix it gently with a probe tape नहीं तो उसको gently place over the abdomen. उसको इतना tight नहीं fix करना है. So secondly, there is TOCO dynamometer. TOCO dynamometer is also there. Theoretically, you should know. So what is white and amber here? Contractions ke accordingly, white is which is less than 5 contractions in 10 minutes, more than equal to 5 contractions in 10 minutes, or hypertonus is amber. मतलब वो degree of risk जो white, amber, red था, this is how it was defined. If there is more than equal to 5 contractions in 10 minutes or hypertonus, what do you have to do? What is your role? Amber आ गया, अपने को कुछ तो action लेना. You can't just sit. अब मेरे को interpret कर लिया मैंने, मैम ने बताया था क्लास में, now I know it is a hypertonus, but बैठ के देखते नहीं रहना. What you have to do is perform a full risk assessment, inform a woman about what is happening, ensure adequate pain relief, give analgesia भर भर के. Please, labor is not very easy जितना अपन सोचते हैं. Once you go through labor, you will know. Ensure, obviously, Prathamesh is lucky there. Ensure adequate analgesia and pain relief to women. Now, there is something called as internal monitoring, which is done through fetal scalp electrodes or internal fetal heart rate monitors. Intrauterine pressure catheters are available which measure internal contractions. So, internal monitoring uses catheter connected to a strain gauge pressure sensor. Pressure of fluid system measured into electrical records and signals. मतलब वो एक fluid से electric signals को generate करता है. This measures intensity and also durations of contractions more accurately. So if you say, if anybody asks you in exam, CTG अच्छे से measure करते हैं, not very sensitive. What is more sensitive is intrauterine pressure catheters, which transmit the pressure fluid signals into electrical signals, so that measures more adequately.